We're back with episode 5, and it's already off to a bit of a rocky start behind the scenes, but
Yeah.
we're gonna kick it off and see if we can actually string together a full episode.
We already know that this experience is going to be rough. We threw this together. I'm gone for the weekend. You're super busy, so our schedules just are not lining up. So we were like, let's just record tonight. So then we decided to try to do our round, get the right course, and record all in the same night. And I tell you what, in terms of that working, the logistics of that working doesn't work. so, so we apologize in advance for how this is going to sound. We also apologize for last time me slowly disappearing for an entire episode. We decided to record right during sunset, and I decided to put a bright window. So our video quality hopefully will go up from here. I mean, it can only go up from here, but we're trying to beat it.
I was gonna say you're apologizing for last time, and I think this episode is gonna be exponentially worse.
There's a good chance.
We'll
There's a
just
good
issue
chance.
we'll just issue 2 apologies, one for last episode and then a preemptive apology for the poor quality of this episode as well. And then hopefully going into episode 6, we might actually have a little bit of a better plan and schedule on when we're gonna get together for our episode, and hopefully it doesn't look like we're tuning in from a cardboard box anymore.
Doubt it. Doubt it.
But it's highly unlikely. It'll probably be the same quality from here on out, so anyways, I don't think we have a lot to talk about today besides our round of golf, which also was in shambles too. So basically,
Oh yeah.
basically everything in this episode is a wash. I don't know if you wanna explain what happened with the golf round.
Yeah, so I was like trying to decide, and I was like, you know what, Pinehurst number 2. That's just a little bit, that's a little too cliche. Let me go with Pinehurst number 8. So I say, Pinehurst number 8. I'm playing on a Trackman for sure. Trackman's got to have Pinehurst number 8, correct? It has everything else. So I text Fred and I say, all right, Pinehurst number 8. And he goes and he plays his round, and then I show up at the golf sim tonight. Like we said, we're trying to record it last minute. And I check it, and Pinehurst number 8 isn't there. And you weren't able to play another round because I was in the
I
middle of my round. We
I
had
had
decided.
already
You already
yeah,
recorded
I had
your
already
round.
recorded my 9 holes for Pinehurst number 8, and I don't really have time to get back to the sim before our episode's supposed to go live.
Yeah, so we were in shambles. So this is a special episode where we're going to go by hole. So we're going to if we're basically going to go par 4 for par 4, par 3 for par 3. And that being said, we probably should have looked at this. How many par 4s do you have? How many par 5s and how many par 3s do you have?
I have 2 par 5s and 2 par 3s, and then the rest are par 4s.
We're off to a great start because
Oh dear.
I have 2 par 3s, 1 par 5, and the rest are par 4s. So we're really not that bad. We're really
Okay.
not that bad off.
Should should we just go stroke play then for this one? Just to keep it
Yeah, probably. Also, I texted or I called you and I was like, listen, we're just gonna go for it. I'm most likely just gonna chalk this up. Pinehurst number 2 is quite possibly one of the most difficult like courses to play because every single green
right.
is a island, like a green, it goes up. I did have actually one of my absolute sickest shots that I've ever had on a simulator, though. I actually videoed it. I'll send it over to you. Yeah, I'm actually going to send this over to you. I need you to get a reaction to this shot. Um,
Okay.
let
Little
me
live reaction.
okay, mind you, this is from a greenside bunker, probably about 15 yards away.
Okay.
That is, and all right, I just sent it over to you.
Okay.
Let me know what you think of that. And I want you to know that's backspin. That is not me chipping up into the.
I'm still waiting for it to come through.
Just to kind of,
Okay.
you got it? No,
No, not yet.
the production quality is quite possibly unmatched. I
I don't know if you can tell, but we've invested heavily here in production. We prioritize production quality over everything else on the show.
I
Somebody's gonna
I'm
discover
embarrassed
this
that we're
episode
gonna
for
be
their first
uploading
episode
this.
and be like,
All right, please
"Yeah,
tell
me
me.
too." Please, please. No, I'm still there we go, we've got it now. Just came through. Let's get a little live reaction to our shot here.
This is off the side of a bunker, a flop shot up.
Okay. The hole out, dude. That's
Yeah.
unreal. What a
That's from our
shot.
greenside bunker. I flopped it up on. I hit it pretty hard with just insane spin, and it's ripped. Not ripped, but it just, like, it caught that spin and then rolled right back to the hole and in. It was insane. One of my
Love.
favorite shots that I've hit on a sim, so that was nice. But, okay, so you wanna
That's insane. That's beautiful.
let's, that was about one of the only good shots, though, with this. This was I think you may be taking your W here because
I
this was not
we'll
it.
see. We'll see about that. We'll see what happens.
Not if
So we're
not if
just gonna go
not if
stroke
you have
play and then
I was gonna say, not if you have
not
anything to
if
say
my
about
friend has anything to say. Right.
it.
Right. I'm not gonna go down without a fight.
Oh
All
my
right,
word.
so you're playing the Pinehurst number 2, I'm playing Pinehurst number 8.
Yep.
Okay. Alright, so I'll just start with mine on the par 4, and I actually took detailed notes about what I had on this round because I was, really wanting to step up my commentary. While everything else was declining on our show, I wanted to actually have a little bit more to talk about. So, on hole 1, I had a 280-yard drive that was in the right rough. I had a good pitch out, and then I had bad chip, okay chip, 2 putt for double. So, I'm 2 over after the first.
We're in good shape.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're off to a hot start.
So I felt pretty good about this. So hole 1 is a par 4. So we got a nice good little drive and oh, good time the driver was hitting. I was the driver was on
Nice.
today. Finally, for once in my life, the driver, I was hitting it great. So we had everything else was a shambles though. Not really. It's just the chips. All right, so we got a nice little drive there onto the first hole, but it kind of got under a little tree from like 160 out. So I hit a nasty little punch 4-iron that rolled out to probably like 150 and was like 10 short, and then I just whiffed my chipped back bogey. So really not a bad, you know what I mean? Not terrible, but to get a bogey, I'm not
Yeah.
upset about that. Like, you know.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's happy.
So
I, so you're technically well,
one
I'm
up,
technically 2 over, you're technically 1 over,
one
so
over.
we'll
Yep.
have to see how we okay. So for my second hole, it was the first par 5. This was playing super long, 561 yards. I had a decent drive. I didn't catch it super pure, but it landed center of the fairway, so it was good. I considered it a decent drive. Um, and then I'm telling you, I hit one of the best 3 hybrids I had ever hit. I hit a perfect 3 hybrid. And then I had a wedge on. and I hit it slightly long and it landed on the back fringe, and then I just chipped from the fringe within the gimme range and parred the par 5. So, I was really happy to play a
Eesh.
561-yard par 5 and get par. I was super pumped about that, I gotta be honest. So, I'm
Yeah,
still 2 over.
that's very nice. I am okay, so that one see, it was the chips that were getting me. With those island greens, if you chipped a little too hard or a little too soft, it would just roll off and you were basically chipping from either side. It was not fun. So for that one, I had good drive, bad chips, and just doubles. I got a double. So I'm 3 over right now. 3 over to 2 over. So you are
Okay.
taking the lead here.
3 over to 2 over going into hole 3. Hole 3 for me was another par 4. It was a pretty long par 4. Actually, it wasn't too bad. It was 378 is what I have on the card. So 378, just a average par 4. I had bad drive, but I got a good kick off of the trees. There was trees down the right side of the fairway, I remember, and I was like, "Oh, man." I was like, "That was a bad drive because it was leaking right." But it actually just kicked off of one of the trees and landed in the rough. And because it hit the trees, it kinda killed it, so I didn't get very good distance at all, and I still had a 5 iron in. But I hit one of the best 5 irons I have hit in a long time, and I hit the green, and I had 45 feet, for my birdie putt. I missed the birdie putt, came up just a little bit short, made it within the gimme for a 2 putt par.
Yeah, all right. So we made a bogey, we made a double on the second. What do you think comes next? Little
Just keeping
triple
it in
action.
order.
Little triple action. So
Little 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 triple tie.
so I decided to hook snap one into the OB off to the left there, but I had a good second shot. Um, and then I think I played okay from there, but I still shot a triple on that. It just so right now I think we're 6 over to what are you at? 2 over?
I'm at 2 over still, yeah. I
Okay,
doubled the
great.
first and then went par par. Alright, and
So
then hole 4 for me was a par 4. This was a super long par 4, 471 yards on this par 4, dude. That was just gross. And what I had on here was great drive, horrible 6 iron duff. I put I had horrible 6 iron duff, and then I had beautiful 56 degree, missed the par putt by 22 inches short. I left it 22 inches short. I said, "Not happy, bogey."
great detailed notes from you there. I'm
So
glad.
yeah. I was so upset. I remember I hit a perfect drive on this super long par 4, and I was like, "Okay," I was like, I can pull a 6 iron out here," and I'm like, "If I just get it on the green, 2 putt par, I'll be happy." I'm telling you what, I duffed it 30 yards, like 30, 40 yards forward. I just completely chunked it. It was just one of those swings that just completely
Mhm.
fell apart mid-swing.
That
Recovered with a beautiful 56. I think I had 22, 23 feet, and I was like, "Okay, hey, with 22 foot for par, I can make this." And I
mhm.
left it 22 inches short, and I was so upset. I was like, "You have a 15 feet gimme range. Why are we leaving putts 22 inches short?" I was like,
Yeah,
If
no.
it's 3 feet by, it's still a gimme." I was so upset,
Mhm. That is
but
very
ended
frustrating.
bogey.
That's not bad, but there's hope because I decided to hit a nasty bunker shot. But that was this is a little hope for me. So this was a par five. This is my no.
Okay,
Or yeah, this is weird. On my scorecard, I have it as a par four, but on my thing, I have a par five. So I actually might have had two par fives. There's a good chance that I actually had two par fives, which is good. So, but we did it. This is the one that I hit a nice. I like pushed a driver a little bit, hit a good 7 iron just short of the green into that greenside bunker, and then flopped up on, ripped it back into the hole for a birdie. That was insane.
wow,
So that was nice. That felt
nice.
very nice.
So
That's a
that brings
two-shot
you
swing
back
right
to
there.
5 under or 5 over. and
Yeah,
I went up 1 to 3
to
over,
4.
so 3 over to 5 over now, right?
Okay, yeah, yeah. So we're coming back, coming
Okay.
back.
Okay, okay. Hole 5 for me was my first par 3. It was 141 yards, and I warmed up a little bit before I played this round, and I don't know why, but I was absolutely smoking my P wedge this round. So at 140, or in the warm up, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna hit P wedge because I was hitting it around the 140, and I was
Mhm.
so upset because I literally hit my P wedge like 150 or something on this par 3. I thought if anything I was gonna come up short, but I was long, still on the green, but it was dead straight. It was a perfect P wedge, just a little long, so I two putt parred on that one. Stay at 3 over.
3 over? Okay, nice. So this was a par 5 for me. So I had a good looks like a good drive, hit a bad I don't know what I hit, but I had a bad hit. And then looks like a good chip, but outside of give me and then hit my bogey there. So that puts me up to back to 6 over, right? I
Yep.
believe.
Okay.
Yeah, so and you're
Yep.
staying at 3 over, so I'm back to 6, man, 3 shots. Not good. I'm gonna have to
Okay, so going into hole 6 was another par 5 for me. This one was playing 600 yards. So,
Sheesh.
love to see super long par 5s. This course wasn't a joke either, man. I gotta be honest, distance-wise, it was kind of kicking my butt a little bit. But for the hole 6, I had perfect drive, horrible 3 hybrid. I tried to replicate the one I hit that was pure earlier and just it was bad. I left it in a fairway bunker on the left side. Then I had a good 7 iron. It was right next to the green, but I got a bad kick. I hit a tree that was right next to the green, and it kicked me left away from the green and into, like, pine straw underneath the tree. It was just an absolute joke of a shot. So I had, 2 shots from there to get onto the green and then 2 putts, so I doubled my par 5. I was so
Okay.
upset. I actually played so well and then just got it it returned the favor. It gave me a good kick off of a tree earlier, and then it just sent me into the pine straw looking in the woods for my ball.
That's
It was
tough.
horrible.
That is tough. This was a par 3 for me. So, actually, this was a good one for me. I had a bad 7 iron that, like, kind of went off and, like, leaked to the right, so I would had it, up in, like, an, elevated shot down to a super, like, bunker on the front side and bunker on the back, but I hit a perfect flop 60 degree and got it to sit just on there and, was able to get it within gimme range and got my par. So it went from a
Nice.
terrible shot, but a insane recovery with a nice flop there. So that made me feel
Perfect.
really nice. But so that
Perfect. Okay, so that puts me to 5 over, and you're 6 over, so I
oh,
still have 1 stroke on you.
okay.
Okay. Hole 7. Yeah, we're going into hole 7 now. This is another par 4, 379 yards on the card for me. I hit a great drive, a bad approach, a worse wedge, and then I hit a good wedge to gimme for bogey.
Okay, alright. I started hearing worse wedge, bad wedge. I was like, "Oh, no." I was expecting high numbers. That's not terrible. Bogey's not bad. Okay, so that's hole 7, correct?
Yep.
Alright, so for good drive, this was I had a drive that was like 290, so that was nice. It was 285. So normally I can't catch my drives that good. I normally am hitting them like 230 just which is not that's not my regular distance, when my regular distance would be like
Right.
probably 280s. So I hit I hit one, went to 180 yards, 285. That was nice to finally catch one. But that was nice. It was a good drive, but it was a bad 52 and then a not so great chip, but I still got bogey there. So, not terrible, but it felt nice to get a good drive there. And,
Okay, so
bogey,
you went to 7 over, and I'm
7,
at 6 over now, so I still have a 1 stroke lead. Okay, hole 8. Let me just break this one down for you. This was my second par 3, 229 yards. for my par 3 here. Let me go ahead and read you the notes I had on this one. Bad 5-iron, bad wedge, bad putt, bad hole, bad golfer, double. I was so mad at this hole.
That's
Everything that went wrong could have went wrong. I was so upset. This is just horrible. And I was just jotting down. I would pick up my phone and type notes as I like hit shots and stuff. It was kind of my routine to help me slow down a little bit as I played through.
mhm.
So I kept picking up my phone, hitting notes on this hole, and at the end I was like, "Bad hole, bad golfer, double. I'm done." Like this is ridiculous.
I
I was
oh
so
my
mad.
word. That's hilarious.
So I'm at 8 over now.
8 over. Man, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. 'Cause
Dude, a 229-yard par 3, are you kidding me? I saw
yeah,
that
no,
on
that's
the as soon as
ridiculous.
it came up on the screen, I was like, "This is ridiculous." Plus, I thought you
Decide
were gonna be
to
playing the same thing. I was like, "There's no way John's just gonna, like, do perfect on this hole either." So I was like, I mean, it'll be alright." But, dude, I was so upset when I saw a 230-yard par
uh,
3. I was like, "This is ridiculous."
lays
This is
up
like
on a par 3.
I did, I literally did, and then I hit 2 bad wedge shots, so
That's
I
tough.
wasn't even on the green after my 3 strokes, so the fact that I actually got a wedge with and then in the gimme and got away with double was could have been worse, but
This is man, dude, this is tough. This is
alright,
actually
what
gonna make
hit
me
me with it.
sad. So I had oh my word, this is one of my best holes too. That's so sad that was because I had I mean, other than that rip in birdie, which really was not a great hole. I just hit a phenomenal shot at the end. But for this one, I had just a beautiful drive down the middle, another like 280-yard shot, and then hit an 8-iron to like 18 feet, and then two putt par. Yeah, that is that
Okay.
is so that
So I'm actually down or you're actually down 1 now, you're
yeah.
+8 to plus or +7 to +8 going into the last. Okay.
I
Alright,
was
well
rooting for you. I was like, Brenton's finally we still have a hole to go. We still have a hole to go. Please tell me you did something crazy. Not bad crazy. Like call
I
out
mean,
eagle or something.
wish that was the story, brother. Dude, I'm telling you, my last hole was a par 4, 441 yards. These yardages, it was 3,547 yards on my 9 holes. It was absolutely insane. No drivable par 4s. Like, it was a long course for your boy. But I actually didn't do terrible on the last par 4. I had a bad drive, but then I had a decent 3-wood recovery, an OKP wedge to just on the fringe, a good chip into the gimme range, and I bogeyed it. So I ended 9
Bogey.
over through 9.
Well, I thought this was it, dude. I did. I really thought it was. For me, this was just, it ended on a par three. It's like 150 yards with a 9-iron, put it on the green, and two putt par.
Nice. Good deal. So you went 7 over on a par what? Par 36?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And I
That's
went 9 over. So you take another one from the the tournament.
I don't
I'm
even
gonna have
feel
to
good
start
about this
pulling
one.
something crazy out.
I don't even feel good about
I
this one.
mean
I'm not gonna lie. If you're
I
dealing
mean,
with
technically, I think on paper yours was supposed to be the harder course, but the fact that I had a 230-yard par 3 is enough to just bang you on a
yeah,
9-hole score, you know what I mean? It's like you don't really have time to work that back off,
mm-mm,
especially if you mess your tee shot up like I did. I don't know what I hit, but I know that my tee shot was horrible and I still had a
yep.
long approach on it, so it is what it is, but, I'm officially down 3-0. I don't know if I'm gonna win a 9-hole match at some point. I think I might need a tee box here pretty soon, but,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I wanna keep it going. I'll be honest with you, dude. I played the course that I want to pick out for next time, and I'm really hoping your simulator has it. I've played before, and I think I was either 1 under or even through a 9 holes on that course. So I really like the course. It sets up well.
What
It's
was the
just like
course called?
I don't know. I believe it was Sweeten Cove is what it was called.
Sweden, like,
I
with an
think it
S? Let me see.
yeah, Sweeten Cove. It's a super pretty course too. It's like on the
Sweden
water, and
Cove,
there's a bunch of
yes.
water. Like,
Okay, we
okay, you
already
got that one?
know during the thing I have Sweeten Cove, and we will not have to wait
Okay,
till
we're
last minute. Yeah, Sweden Cove
cool.
GC.
We
GC? Sweden Cove GC?
perfect. Yep.
Yep.
Yep, that should be the one. We'll play the white tees, the front 9 on that course, and it's a fun course. It's got some water and stuff in it that's challenging, but it really works better for my game. It's really just an easier course, so I'm sure you'll score well on it too, but I play it a lot better on some of these other courses that I've messed around on, and I don't know why, but it's just I really don't feel like I played that bad today. It was that
Mhm.
the driver wasn't as trustworthy as it normally was. I will say that. My driver was not, as reliable as it typically is when I'm hitting drivers, so that was a little bit
Mhm.
frustrating, and then my long irons were not great, but I
Yep.
gotta be honest, I really don't feel like it was that bad of a round.
Mhm.
My mid to low irons, I was hitting well, my pitching wedge was, like, on fire. I was hitting that thing 140 pretty consistently. Even
Yep.
my 52 and, my 56 were still doing pretty good. It was just a few chips that I will be honest with you, on one of those chips that I hit a bad chip, I think I read it wrong. I think it said 30 yards and it was 30 feet. And or no, it said 30 yards and I read it as 30 feet. So I just barely tapped it and then it barely went anywhere and I looked back up and I was like, "Oh my goodness, I just read it." So
Yep.
I don't know. There was some shots in there that were just
Mhm.
dumb mistakes, I guess, but it really was frustrating round because I felt like I played pretty decent, but I gotta be honest, as soon as I hit that par 3 and that was hole 8, I knew there was no chance that hole 9 could be good. I was so mad after hole 8. I was like I was well, cause what, at hole 8 going into hole 8, I was only 6 over through
Mhm.
7, so I felt like I was having a pretty good round. I thought it was a pretty decent score I was looking at, and then I get there and I double that, and then it was a momentum killer for sure.
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like you started off hot and then kind of like fell off a little bit due to course conditions, not because you necessarily were playing terrible or whatever, but because you got in. And then it's like for me, I started off terrible and then kind of got hot near the end. And it definitely was that chip in,
Yeah,
that wedge in really gave me that hole out, gave me a lot of I started playing exponentially better after that. I just felt a lot more free. And it's like I feel like when you start out good, like if you start out good and then start to play bad, it almost like compounds where it kind of builds on each other. You know what I mean? Where you start to feel worse and worse and worse, and you're like, ah, and at the end you're out of it. Whereas if you start off a
right,
round where you're playing bad and you're like, man, and then you chip in and you're like, oh, okay. And then you just start, you're like, man, that was the freeing moment. And then it kind of frees you up to where
right,
you start playing good. It's like it's just the difference of kind of what happened there. And it's like, yeah, it's just unfortunate that that happened to you, or you're stuck feeling bad or playing bad, or slowly playing worse and
right.
worse. It's just unfortunate. But
Yeah, yeah, it was frustrating. I will say for my own, like, happiness with how I played, I'm pretty happy with how I played.
yeah,
Although I keep losing, I feel like the rounds I've been putting together have been pretty competitive with our typical play style, although I think you're playing just out of your mind when you get into these competitive rounds. I don't know, you gotta gear you lock in and just I don't know, you're just going crazy on it. So, it's cool to see. I'm excited for when we play some golf in person.
mhm.
It's gonna be fun, but I think it's cool to see you running away with some of it. But I'm hoping that I can get some of these courses where I can be a little bit more competitive and
Oh,
hopefully
yeah.
at least steal a few points, at least have something to show by the end of this
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah, this it's it's like one of those
Uh,
ones, like, it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but, like, right now, it's like I feel like I'm playing, like, with, like, a cheat code or something like that, like or I don't know, like, why I'm playing so good. I don't like it because it's almost like it's not competitive. I'd rather play. I know this sounds bad, but I like it being competitive. I don't like running away with it. I'd rather us have a round like this. This round was a lot more exciting to me because it's like, oh, we're both not playing amazing, but we're playing okay. And it's like you have this moment where like, oh,
right,
I hit a chip in to hit a birdie because and it brings me back and you hit a bogey on that round. So there's a two-shot swing right there. And then it's like it puts me a little closer back into it. And then this round you have a double and then I hit a par and it's a two-shot swing and I get a little closer to winning. And then it's like it's just a lot more fun whenever we're kind of, we're having. I would rather have a pillow fight than me steamroll you. Like that's not like steamroll is not fun. You
right,
know what I mean? I enjoy,
yeah,
I enjoy a good old fashioned pillow fight where we're both not playing great, but it's a competitive match. So I hope we have some more rounds
yep.
like this where it's a little more competitive and. I don't know because you're right. For some reason I've been playing out of my mind these last couple of matches, and it's made it kind of not too interesting. I liked this match because
That's
it was a little more interesting.
yeah. Well, that's kind of my hope. I'll be honest with you, just so this course a little bit, this Sweeten Cove that I've picked, there's some water hazards on it, but the thing about the water hazards is they're not quite in range for, like, my distance, so that's where I'm hoping it could add maybe a little bit more competitiveness because it's like, I know I can't hit the water that's 285, 290 out there unless I really catch a drive good, but it might make you question if you really wanna slam a driver or if you're gonna try
Mhm.
to do something different, and might give me a little bit of an opportunity to kind of get a few shots back in there is kind of the competitive, uh the competitive decision in choosing this course. So I'm hoping that it's something I can put up a good score and bring a competitive score to next episode and hopefully rival you a little bit for that point.
Mhm.
I got a little bit of catching up to do, but the point values will go up and get more intense as we go. So
Yeah.
I I'm excited to see where we end up. It's definitely not over yet, and I definitely have
Mm.
a lot of opportunities left, but I gotta start doing something soon, that's for sure.
Is this next one is the last 4 point or 1 point match, right? I think so.
I would have to look back and see. I don't remember if it was just January and February were both 1 point, and then March and April were the increased pointages. I wanna say
Okay.
that we said both January and February were 1 point, apiece to
Okay.
kind of let us get warmed up, and then March and April, we started ramping the points up as we came
Nice.
down to the end of it. But
Yeah.
I will say the other thing that I really liked about my round, I text you about it, but I was I was feeling really good with my swing speed. I gotta be honest, I was my ball speed on a lot of my shots in the round were, like, a lot higher than I typically am hitting with some of the stuff, so I just jumped in on the range after the round and was just slamming my driver a little bit. I had a drive one drive that was 167 mile per hour ball speed and carried a little or I don't know if it carried or I think it carried right about 300 yards, and
Sheesh.
then I no, I don't know that it carried quite 300 yards. I don't wanna say that for sure. It definitely ended over 300 yards. It was like 303 or something yards total, and I think it carried pretty close because I was just hitting on the range. It doesn't really roll out far on the range, so, um, pretty good, ball speed there, and then the best one I hit a drive that was 168.9 mile per hour ball speed. I was trying to hit 170,
That's
I couldn't
nice.
get to it, but I was getting close. I was working for
That's
170,
awesome.
but it's cool to see. I know that, those ball speeds are pretty comparable to some of the more I don't
Yeah,
know that PGA are
that's
quite they
tour
might be
that's
a little
about
bit
tour
better than
level.
that
I
on
think
average, but
170 is tour level. So you're getting there.
Okay.
Like, you're getting right there to
Yeah,
tour levels.
so
That's nasty.
yeah, it was crazy, and those drives were I mean, they were different than the regular little dinks I hit out there, 2
Mhm,
260. I'd say about 265 is probably my average, and I
mhm,
think the ball speed's typically around 145, 150s, somewhere in there when I'm swinging just what I play in game. But, working with that extra speed, it was cool to see, some of those new distances, and then as you kind of get comfortable with it, you're not gonna be swinging at 100% in game ever, but
mhm,
working to get that higher number, higher and higher so that your 80%, 90% drive is going, that 160
mhm.
would be sweet, so that's what I'm hoping for, but we'll see.
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. But yeah, I that would be nasty. Whenever I was decided to do my weird hand movements, that's about where I was getting where I think you remember that we were on the sim and I got up and smacked one. And I got it to carry about I think it was like 304 to cover the water or 305 to carry the water. And I landed right in the middle of the water. And hey, it worked for a little bit, but but yeah, if you can do that where
Yeah,
you're consistently hitting it that far with like clean form and everything, that's nasty. That is very clean. So
right.
I'm excited to see it. Bro, I
Yep.
I I just can't wait till we get together and can play. We need to have one of these matches against each other in person or something. That would be that would be
Oh,
sick. I need
we're gonna make it happen for sure. I don't
yeah.
know when the weather will be nice enough around here that we can play some golf, but or even if we meet up midway someplace in Ohio. I know we got the Memorial Day tournament that we're hoping to try and make happen again this year, but I would love even if we could just on a Saturday or something just meet up
Mhm,
halfway in between and play a 18 hole match. It'd be fun for the podcast, but just honestly, it'd
mhm,
just be fun to do in general just to see kind of I think that we've never I don't know that I can think of off the top of my head that we've ever actually played a full just 1v1 competitive golf match. Typically,
mhm,
we scramble and then maybe play for 9 or do something like that,
mhm.
but I don't think in previous years we really felt like we were at the caliber to be playing our own ball for 18 holes, but I think this year for
Yep.
sure we definitely are at that capacity, and I would love to see it out on a course and how we do just duking it out for 18 holes.
Mhm. I'm so down. I'd be excited and see kinda how we play, see where we match up, and, I'd be excited. But we'll have to see
Me
kinda
too.
where we're at. But alright, well,
I think it would be a blast.
I think that about covers everything. I think we've kinda went over everything. We've got your course pulled up. We're ready. So, let's hope that this is our worst produced episode. Let's let's put this
In a tier list of production quality, let's hope that this always holds the lowest position on the tier list, and we don't ever produce anything worse than this.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a
this
pretty low
episode could
bar.
get fully scrapped afterwards if it doesn't if I open up the file and 90% of the audio is corrupted, which wouldn't surprise me. We might
Yeah.
just have to scrap this entire
I've
episode.
s I've seen this episode uploading, and it's at 36%. So let's
Yeah. I I'm a little concerned about yours only being at 36% and somehow mine's at 99, so,
yeah, that's what
there's some
mine's normally
concerns
at.
that we will see what happens. But that's all we got for today's episode. Congratulations on your 3rd win today, and, I'll come back fighting next time, hopefully, and we'll get you in the next episode.
Alright, I look forward to it. I look forward to it.
Alright, have a good one. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.